The Los Angeles Chargers got it done 27-21 over the Kansas City Chiefs last night. This was the Justin Herbert revenge game. He was, what, 1 for 7 against Patrick Mahomes in his career. Herbert also played the worst game of his career against the Texans, where he threw 4 interceptions. That's more than he threw all season. Ladd McConkey and Jerwin James, after the game, spoke about how that lit a fire under Herbert. And he just looked like a different player. I mean, Herbert has never looked like this in his career. He just goes out there and he's on a mission. He has no friends, just enemies out on the field. The way he was running the ball, trying to make that play. Because Herbert even, I'm paraphrasing here, but Herbert even said it about himself about how, oh, I hear the chatter. I hear how people say that I can't get it done in big games and big moments, which is kind of insane to think about because, Herbert did have some big plays in college and it's not his fault in the slightest that, the Chargers haven't had any success, but now there's no excuses. That's what did I say yesterday before the game? There's no excuses now for Herbert. This is a talented enough roster to win a Super Bowl, to win the division. And if they don't, I'm simply going to blame Justin Herbert. And last night, he stepped up to the challenge, the task. 25 of 34, 318 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, Justin Herbert looked like a top 5 quarterback. He looked like a generational talent. And he also used his legs for 32 yards. I don't have the exact number on me. Let's see if I do. How fast Herbert was clocked at on that run. I don't have it. It's on my phone in my bedroom right now. I'm in the office. But yeah, I think it was around 20 miles per hour. I mean, Justin Herbert has, outside of like Josh Allen, probably the best arm in the game. And then now he's running the ball like this and lowering his shoulder and picking up extra yardage. Herbert is not playing around. Just love that tenacity out of him, man. That's what Herbert's been missing. He's always had the talent, but now he's going out there and willing to do whatever it takes to win. I love it, man. My favorite player in the league, Justin Herbert. And then Amari Hampton gets the start, 15 for 48. Not the best efficiency in the world, but I thought I haven't looked at the film yet. I've looked at maybe like a quarter and a half of it. But just from the eye test, it's not all about yards per carry. I thought Hampton looked good. He looked explosive. It's his first game. He's a rookie going up against the Chiefs in Brazil. I mean, that is about as difficult as it gets. Hampton also caught a couple of balls out of the backfield, 2 for 13. Najee Harris, we didn't see much of him, which makes sense as he just started practicing like a week and a half ago. Eventually, once he gets more accustomed to the scheme and, of course, and he practices, he'll get more out there. But yeah, Hampton, he stepped up, man. The Chargers didn't really run the ball all that much. I mean, if I'm being honest, this was all about play action, naked bootlegs and getting Herbert out of the pocket. And also, even just in shotgun, Herbert was able to get it done. But, Greg Roman was really the MVP of this game. Like, everyone's going to talk about Justin Herbert, which I just did. Like, I'm guilty as charged. But Greg Roman, this is probably the best game he's called as a Charger. He was just absolutely dialed in. Well, no pun intended, because that's literally what he does, but is dial-up plays. But yeah, Roman was unbelievably good. When I break down the film, I'm going to show you guys each formation and what percentage he did it, because obviously right now I don't have the numbers. It's in my phone. But Roman, he mixed up formations. He did 10 personnel a lot, which of course is 4 wide receivers. The Chargers just didn't do that last season, and it makes sense. Why would they? They didn't have 4 capable receivers, but now they do. I mean, you've got McConkey, who is already one of the best receivers in the league, despite being in his second season. Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Trey Harris had a catch for 11 yards. Keandre Lambert-Smith did see a target. He was not on the same page with Herbert early on in this game. Herbert thought he was going to run deep, and he kind of came back. Lambert-Smith, again, I compare him to Marvin Mims of the Broncos. Give him probably 10 more weeks or so, and he'll be a big part of this offense. But it's going to take him time. Even like Trey Harris wasn't a part, but the veterans went out there and yeah, I'm calling Ladd McConkey a veteran because he literally is like a seasoned veteran. You would have thought this guy's been in the league for like 7 years. Ladd McConkey is an absolute stud. He's just always open. Keenan Allen impressed me. I didn't expect much from Unk, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, sure, last season with the Bears, he didn't have the best scheme around him. Who was calling the plays? The former Seahawk coordinator? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was out like all night drinking after this game. Way too much tequila. I mean, how can you not? I mean, this was a big win for the Chargers, and I think it's going to sort of set the tone for the rest of the season. Obviously, we have bigger goals than just beating the Chiefs in week 1. The goal is a Super Bowl. Anything else is a disappointment. But you had to start somewhere. And if you want to win the division, guys, what did I say before the game? What's the best way to win the division? It's to beat teams in your own division, right? Like the Chargers swept the Raiders. The Chargers swept the Broncos, but the Chiefs swept them. The Chiefs won the division. So, the Chargers, they had to win this game. Like, it was a must-win game, and I was kind of surprised that the majority of you agreed with me. Like, normally a week one must-win game is seen as crazy, but if you're a Charger fan like me, you knew that, hey, like, they've got to win this game. If the Chargers had lost last night, I just would not have seen them having the best season. And there's a lot of beat writers for the Chargers who had them winning 9 games and losing last night. I just don't understand how anybody could have thought that. I get the Chiefs have had our number and the Chiefs last season swept us, but if you followed the Chargers the past 2.5 months, you would have known that they've had this game circled all offseason and they've put in the work to be able to get here. And last season, it's not like the Chiefs dominated us. I mean, it was a close game. It came down to literally the end of the fourth quarter, and the Chargers just didn't make those plays. That's the thing about Justin Herbert is he just doesn't make those plays when he has to. He'll have a great game, but then towards the end, it's like, what are you doing? But last night, Herbert had a great game, and then at the end, had that third and long conversion with his legs. That was so freaking awesome, man. I'm so happy for Herbert. I want to see him get a Super Bowl this season. In terms of the defense, it played very, very well. I mean, whenever you hold the Chiefs to 21 points, you're doing something right. 17 of 98. Mahomes had 57 yards with his legs. That sort of makes the numbers look a lot better than they actually are. I mean, I get it counts, but still. Yeah, you want to contain Mahomes, but you're trying to play Mahomes as a passer. If you kind of want Mahomes running, if I'm being honest with you. Mahomes was 24 of 39 for 258 yards. Mahomes just wasn't at his best. The coverage was just so sticky. It was so tight. And Dante Jackson deserves a lot of credit. I thought Dante Jackson looked exceptional. Again, when I go look at the film, I'll have a better assessment of it. But just from the eye test, Jackson played so well, man. Sure, Rashee Rice didn't play. Who else? Xavier Worthy left after 3 snaps. That's not our problem, though. If the Chargers had that happen to them, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have cared that the Chargers had lost. So I don't care, right? The Chargers won this game fair and square. Hollywood Brown, 10 for 99. They did a good job of keeping him in front of them. There was a couple of plays where a chief receiver was able to get down the field just behind the defense. That simply just cannot happen. But that's the issue with containing a guy like Patrick Mahomes is when he gets out of the pocket, that's actually when he's at his most dangerous point because he has the arm to be able to throw over the middle of the field. And defense can only cover for so long. It doesn't matter. Even you could have the best defensive backs of all time on the field together. They're not going to hold the coverage for 5, 6, 7 seconds, at least consistently. Like, that's asking for a lot. And that's kind of what happened is Mahomes was able to extend the play. And, Mahomes, I don't think Mahomes played that well, but from a Mahomes standpoint, just from an overall standpoint, like, those numbers are not that bad at all. He also had a couple of crazy plays where the ball was like, there was a weird snap and he just was able to like hit the ground and he was able to get it out. And yeah, the Chiefs just, it's not even, this game isn't about the Chiefs. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, the Chiefs have nothing to worry about. But the Chargers deserve all the credit because they went out there and they just made a statement. That's probably going to be the title of this video is the Los Angeles Chargers just made a statement or something along those lines. Because the reason why the Chiefs didn't look that great is because the Chargers, they just had their number. And last season, again, it comes down to a couple of plays. Like you look at the 2-point conversion, I believe it was T.R. Tart able, he bats it down, and he did that a couple of times as well. And then Herbert, 3rd down, is able to move the chains to get it going, and it's just good to see, man. The Chargers immediately come down the field and score a touchdown, but they did that against the Chiefs last season, and then of course they scored 3 points the rest of the game. That was like early on in this, in the season in Los Angeles. So, I'm very, very encouraged with how the Chargers played, and you have to understand it like this. The Chargers, this is the worst they're going to play all season. I know they're going to have a bad game. They're going to lose a game they shouldn't, of course, it's football. But this is week 1, guys. Like, as the season progresses, the Chargers are only going to get better. The only thing that can get in their way is health. Rashawn Slater didn't play. I almost forgot because the offensive line actually looked pretty good. Steven Spagnuolo is literally the best defensive coordinator in football at being able to blitz and to get open rushers and things like that. Like Drew Tranquil had a huge hit on Herbert. Herbert didn't even see him. He confused him. Rashawn Slater, he's probably the best left tackle in football when he's fully healthy. And he's out there, and all of a sudden you're forced to go to your depth chart, and you're forced to go to your swing tackle and Trey Pipkins. We saw Jamar Sawyer come in for a play and immediately have a hold. Of course, right? It just goes to show that the Chargers don't have a lot of depth now with Pipkins starting. He was like the one guy, but yeah, I'll kind of leave it at that, man. It's your boy Thunder Alley. I'm about to sign out.